it's just me and Strauss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Jay Clark, your host, as always, joined by head football coach Desmond Wiggins. And last week, you guys traveled to West Deptford to face off against the Eagles. Obviously, a tough one to lose, but
Absolutely.
It seemed that things were better in that game, and you guys competed. Talk about some of the things that were improved upon.
I believe that we get another week with our quarterback. I think that helped. Also, too, as well, I think defensively, guys were really flying around, really listening to things that we had them to do. And so we just kind of stuck to our scheme, did the things that we were supposed to do, and I think that helped a lot. Like I said, another week with the quarterback, the defense kind of gelling together a little bit better, and those things seemed to work.
Yeah, and obviously didn't result in the win column,
Yeah.
And weren't able to spoil their homecoming games. So talk about some of the things that could have been better in that 22-9 loss.
I think that offensively, the offense West Deptford runs, it can run you down after a period of time. We came out flying around first quarter, and the other thing too as well, I will say this for us, we're not really a deep team. We have about 30 guys really that are kind of playing, really 25 guys are consistently playing. So a lot of guys are playing both sides of the ball. So it's really good for us to try to score early because defensively guys are coming on both sides of the ball. So I think that kind of the timing of things, how long it took us to score, kind of hindered a little bit for us defensively of how much energy we had. And secondly, I would say offensively we were moving the ball well. We just kind of, when we got to about the red zone or right before the red zone, we just couldn't punch it in. And so, we have to just correct those mistakes, get better at our red zone offense, and, see what happens this week.
Yeah, and you talk about the offense did seem to flow a little bit better.
Yeah.
But the turnovers seem to be the Achilles heel. Mm-hmm. Talk about how you're trying to preach a little bit more on ball security.
Absolutely. We talk about that a lot, the importance of like the little mistakes. Teams that win at any level, especially high school and up, is about how disciplined they are. The discipline factor on and other things too as well. That's one of our Achilles heel is just basically untimely penalties. False starts and holding and different things of that nature. Those are the things that are the difference makers in football games. And so I'm trying to tell the kids it's not about the just big plays or did I make a big hit or did I get the interception. It's about those small things and those small nuances that make the difference, and that's where we got to correct.
And the defense looked a lot better this week on certain drives, even forced a safety.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the things that they're improving upon.
Well, they're learning, especially our linebackers. They're doing a very good job now in understanding the importance of filling gaps. We talk a lot about, been teaching them this year a lot about what a run fits. You know what I mean? Like a lot of kids, they come to high school, they just basically just go and they just run and they just chase the ball. But there's a discipline when you start getting to high school. You have to really know what run fits are and know what your run fit is pre-snap and understanding where you need to fill. And so been really hammering that down with our linebackers to understand run fits, and when they see their gap, just shoot it. If you know it's a run play, shoot it, and they did a very good job with that. And safety was a blitz that was called, and so they shot it immediately. They timed things out well, and it went good.
Yeah, you mentioned the run defense getting better, but it seems as though the pass defense could use a bit of work down the field. Talk about some things in practice that you're trying to correct for stopping the big play down the field.
Yeah, I think just for our corners and safeties and different ones, just making sure our eyes are not always in the backfield, just staying disciplined to their coverages first. We teach, of course, our front seven, play run first, then pass. Our back four, we tell those guys, play pass first, then run. Outside, sometimes our free safety, we'll have them to come down the box, but typically we tell them, listen, play your responsibilities first and then begin to respond and react. And so when they do that soundly, then we're okay. But when they find themselves looking in the backfield, that's where we get our distraction. So again, we're just preaching play your disciplines first and then allow the play to come to you.
And taking a look at tonight's matchup against Gloucester, they're first in their division. What are some key positional matchups that are going to be vital in the team having success tonight?
Gloucester is a unique team, man. They are, they're not, and just looking at them, they're not, you'll see it, they're not like Camden or they're not Seneca, certain teams we played, but they are physical. They come off the football, they fly off the football. So really the key matchup is really going to be, our defensive line just basically, holding up concerning how fast they're coming off the football offensive line-wise. So I think if we can do that and make sure that we're doing that consistently, getting our guys in and out, getting them breaks and being able to fly off the football, I think we'll be able to compete tonight.
And you had a 2-game road stand. How does it feel to be back now with home field advantage back at the Castle and on the turf? Yeah,
I like being at home. Sometimes I like to travel, but a lot of times I like being home. Keeps you kind of in the flow of your routine, not waiting on buses, little stuff like that. But yeah, I enjoy it tremendously, and we just get back at the Castle and do what we got to do.
And tonight against Gloucester is the homecoming game.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a coach, that provides a bit of a longer halftime and a bit more distractions. How are you keeping the players and other coaches focused in on the game?
Yeah, that's the main thing. I tell the kids all the time, like, look, man, we are here to play a football game. And then also too, as well, halftime, gets a little bit longer in the tooth. Actually, I kind of enjoy it because it gives us more time to kind of correct mistakes and deal with certain things. But I think the kids are focused on the football game. They got all their homecoming invites and all their requests and all that stuff out the way now, so they can kind of focus on football.
And we take a look here. We've talked about on the show how much we've stressed the experience that the freshman players are getting at the varsity level. Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the things you've seen from them as a class and as a group, how they've progressed from the first day of practice till this point now.
It's interesting. A lot of them have matured. Yesterday we actually had a freshman game for the first time all year. The kids really enjoyed that because they got to be able to kind of compete and kind of see the level of where they are. And I'm just excited for their growth. They've grown on every aspect, not just on the field, but just as human beings, their disciplines in the weight room and things of that nature. So I'm really, really excited for the future of our team. I'm excited for where we're going and where we're heading and what they're doing already. So yeah, they've grown just to give an example, one of our kids who came in summertime, how hard he's worked, has increased his bench by 100 pounds since the summer. And that's how hard this group has really been working. So it's unique to see it, and I'm just glad that they keep on pushing even through, the trials and the errors that we've had this season.
Yeah, that's an impressive feat for sure. And then last question for you, Coach. You were a student here and obviously didn't play football, but do you have any homecoming memories yourself?
That's interesting. I was talking to the kids about this because, again, like I said, I didn't play here, and I played in college. But I was talking to the kids about the fact that I really don't, because homecoming has just become a big thing probably the last 5 or 10 years. I remember prom, you know what I mean? Both years I went to prom, my junior and senior year. But homecoming, honestly, I don't, man. Homecoming was just, it was homecoming. It was another game. I remember the week and just the excitement of just pep rallies and different things we had. But it wasn't like prom. So it's just something different now, guys, for, you guys' generation.
And so that'll do it for this edition of our Coach's Corner show. I'm Jake Clark, joined by head coach Desmond Wiggins. As always, go Knights.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sterling Channel 19. We are here for some Friday night football as the Sterling Silver Knights welcome in the Gloucester Lions here on a beautiful Friday evening. Weather looking at 60 degrees, winds blowing northwest at 3 miles per hour, humidity at 29%, and tonight's forecast is cloudy. And we are going to send it down to Jake on the field for the pregame show. All right, so unfortunately we had some mic issues right there, but we'll take a look at some of the graphics on your screen. It's the WJFL constitutional standings. Camden leading the way at 6-1, followed by Haddonfield at 5-1, Haddon Heights at 4-2, Camden Catholic at 2-4, West Deptford at 2-5, and Sterling sitting at the very bottom at 1-6 on the year. We look at the Colonial standings. Gloucester leading the way at 5-1, followed by Audubon at 3-2, Collingswood at 4-3, Overbrook at 500 at 3-3, and Deptford at the very bottom at 1-5. And we're going to try Jake one more time.
How's it going? Thank you, Brian. We fixed the mic this time, and it's now working. We take a look. Sterling is 1-6 on the season. Their last game was a loss on the road to West Deptford, 22-9. They competed well in that game, but just weren't able to get in the win column. And you take a look at Gloucester. They've won 5 straight. They're 5-1 on the season. Their last game being a 36-0 victory over Deptford. In the head-to-head matchup for the series, they're 1-1, split apiece. We take a look at Gloucester. For the last 5 games, they've put up 35 points in for the last 5. And you take a look at Gloucester running back Mason Weidman. He has 800 yards even on the ground with about 10 yards average per rush on the ground and 11 touchdowns. And Sterling bringing back their offensive line in back-to-back weeks. They have the same offensive line, same 5, in back-to-back weeks for the first time all season. And this will be quarterback transfer Jathan Chandler's 3rd game at quarterback, and it's his first one at home, which is super important. He'll get to experience the super fans for the first time. On-field conditions, it's pretty cool out tonight. The lights are bright, and it's fantastic weather for football here at the Castle. We are so glad to be back at home after a 2-game road stand. And so that is going to do it here for my sideline report. I'm going to send it back up to Brian in the booth. Brian?
Thank you, Jake. Great pregame show as always. You take a look at compare the teams' overall win percentages for both sides. Gloucester in favor with a .575 win percentage compared to Sterling's .388. Last winning season for Sterling was back in 2017. They were 8-2. Gloucester's was in 2022 with a 9-3 record. And we are underway here at the Castle. Sterling with the kickoff. Gloucester will start with the football. A return up past the 40, up past the 45, past midfield. Going along the far sideline, and he's going to take it all the way for a kickoff return touchdown.
Yeah, just a great run there from Gloucester special teams. Just a great play there from the special teams. Able to get to the outside, then cut to the middle for the touchdown.
Justin Frazier with the kickoff return for the touchdown. And just like that, Gloucester strikes first here at the Castle.
Yeah, and that's one way to really suck the energy out of a crowd here. There's a lot of super fans here tonight. They're loud, and that's just Gloucester is able to suck the energy right out of this building.
Unfortunate start for the Knights, but we'll get a very quick look at the offense tonight. Extra point is up, and it is good right down the middle. And just like that, 15 seconds in, Gloucester has a 7-0 lead. Gloucester, a very strong program coming into this game, 5-1 on the year, leading their division. And it was a line drive kick that was taken off a bounce by Frazier, ran it up the left sideline, and just zoomed past. And Sterling having a very good special teams unit all year, but unfortunately unable to defend that. You look at the series history between both sides. The series tied at 1-1. Gloucester's last win was in 2022 with a 41-0 shutout, and Sterling's last win was in 2020 when they took down Gloucester 22-14. And Gloucester has outscored Sterling 55-22 in those two games.
I remember that game from 2020. That was a phenomenal game. I remember watching it at home from Channel 19. That was before I joined Channel 19. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I'm pretty sure the quarterback for that game was Jeremiah Thompson.
I believe so. So Gloucester will kick it away. And again, just 15 seconds in, Gloucester already with a 7-0 lead, and Sterling will look to answer.
And so now you take a look at the Sterling offense as I am joined by Brian McClernand and Connor Strauss in the booth. I'm back from the sideline. Take a look. Quarterback Marquise Holloway starting. I believe it's Jathan Chandler at the helm of quarterback tonight, but looks like it'll be Marquise Holloway here on our roster seat. Jermaine Stewart taking reps at tailback, followed by Josiah Lopez and Denzel Wiggins. Justice Gamble and Amir Atkins are on the outside. You look at the offensive line of Javier Cortez, Kenny McCardle, Liam Crawford, Vinny Capizzoli, and Steven Dyson. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Knights. Already down 7-0 after giving up the kickoff. It is quarterback transfer Jathan Chandler in the shotgun. Sends Lopez in motion. Takes the snap and finds a handoff. It'll be met around the line of scrimmage. Now we take a look at the opposing Gloucester Lions defense. You see Caden Harris is the free safety with Ivan Obey as the strong safety. Along with them in the secondary is Jaden Garris and Justin Frazier. Looking at the linebacker core, it'll be Mason Weidman, Jake Zierfoss, Maddox Zane, and Trevin Burkhart. And the defensive line is Justice Dolson, Caden Elmore, and Caleb Wright.
Gloucester, a really tough team to face. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They've allowed an average of 7 points per game in those 5 wins.
Yeah, very talented program, and they've really built this program up from the last couple years.
Pass was batted down to the turf, so it'll make it 3rd and long for the Knights.
Just a great job by the defensive line to apply the pressure on Jathan Chandler. Able to knock that ball away.
Ball remains at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, take another look at the replay. Just a great defensive play there.
3rd and long for the Knights. Again, they trail 7-0 after the kickoff return for the Lions. Man in motion is Lopez. Chandler rolls out, pressured, fires. Catch by Lopez, still on his feet. And stopped in bounds. Back where the drive started, and the punt team comes out for the Knights.
I mean, a great effort there after the catch. That's the receiver for the Knights, number 10, who is unfortunately not listed on our roster sheet.
That's Josiah Lopez out there, the tight end.
Great job after the catch. He took a big hit but stayed up on his feet and was able to get at least about a yard or two short of that first down marker.
Blocking was good there off a poor snap, and Gloucester takes it about the 35. And a nice tackle for negative yards there for the Knights. We take a look at the Gloucester offense. Quarterback Jake Siebert under center, followed by Mason Weedman and Trevor Burkhart, and Jake Ziervos in the backfield. Tight end Maddox Zane. Take a look at the wide receiver Justin Frazier and the line. Caden Elmore, Jeremy Schofeld, Justice Dolson, Caleb Wright, and Logan DePotter.
The Lions will begin this drive at the 33-yard line.
So we'll now get to see what this Gloucester offense is all about.
Yeah, obviously a very talented offense. They've scored 202 points this year. Well, now that's 209. So they've been a very productive offense.
And the ball is out. Sterling thinks they have it. Waiting for a signal from the official. And I believe Gloucester will stick with possession. Take a look, that's Kyrie Hines forcing the fumble. And Gloucester does fall on top of it.
At the 44-yard line, becomes a
Yeah, good job of getting to that football quick enough to prevent an early turnover and allow Sterling to get some good field position.
Going to take another look here at the run play. Nice blocking there from the Gloucester Lions.
Yeah, overall able to allow that run to develop. And a good start to the drive.
So the Lions on the move right around midfield. Here is Siebert. Takes the snap, fires a quick screen out to the far side, or near side of the field. Still on his feet as the receiver and brought down to move the chains. It's number 1, Ivan Obey, wide receiver.
A nice developing screen. You thought that maybe Sterling was all over that. But a nice job by Obey to get some runs after the catch and do give Gloucester some good field position into Knights territory.
So after that catch and run by Obey, it's a first down for the Lions. Snap is taken, and a bit of a jet sweep here. Nice stop by number 4, Bub Hall, for a minimal gain.
Yeah, and an athletic play there from Bob Hall to get to the running back and stop what could have been a big gain for Gloucester.
And I'm liking the way Sterling has tackled so far today. Very aggressive on the ball. I mean, they've already had a forced fumble tonight defensively on the opening defensive drive, and that's kind of a momentum type play, especially if you get that ball back to Sterling's offense. But so far, I've liked how aggressive the tackling's been so far for the Knights defensively.
Yeah, and they're not really going for the big highlight reel tackle. They're just trying to get the runner down and stop the play. They're doing a great job of just playing simple and keeping their game simple.
Nice job there, and almost intercepted, but pressure came on that left side of the line from Kyrie Hines.
Almost went unblocked on that play, almost got the sack.
Could have gotten called for a face mask there. It looks like he wrapped his finger around his mask for a second, but
take a look at it once again. Some great pressure by Hines, just able to get it out, and it was Jermaine Stewart who came up on it and almost able to pick it off, just went right through his hands.
For the Lions.
So after a big defensive play there for the Knights, Gloucester still has possession. Play action now here to the near side of the field. And a nice tackle there by Marquise Holloway.
yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball, Sterling's been bringing pressure. They've been sending more blitzers, and it's really worked so far. This quarterback has no time to throw the ball, and it's really benefited Sterling so far in this game.
Yeah, not allowing a lot of big plays, but so far Gloucester has moved it slowly down the field, so Sterling is doing a good job, but I think something like a sack here could really halt this drive for Gloucester.
So Gloucester is keeping the offense on the field for a 4th and 5. Man in motion is Obey. They give it to him. Nice blocking on the outside of the field. And it's going to be close. We'll see where the spot is. But it looks like the spot is in favor of Sterling. And Sterling gets a turnover on downs there.
Yeah, great play there by the Sterling linebackers to recognize that they were going to the run. Obviously, you saw them. They were lined up behind the defensive ends, and they brought the pressure on the quarterback. As soon as they saw that it was a run, they switched off and were able to get the tackle before the first down marker.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad blocking on the left side by the Gloucester offensive line, but again, as you said, Strauss, the linebackers for the Knights able to read the play as good as they could, and it was Bub Hall on the initial tackle, and some reinforcements coming in, able to make the spot pretty close.
So Chandler and the Knights back out on the field after the defense forces a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 now. Chandler takes the snap. It's going to be a quarterback power to the near side of the field, and nothing doing. Well read there by the Gloucester defense.
Yeah, and he lost yardage on the play, but a good job from Chandler of getting out of that situation. That could have been a loss for much more, but he was able to evade a couple defenders and take a minimal loss.
Yeah, really just nothing much able to develop. I mean, the blocking wasn't horrible by any means, but just kind of took too long to decide where he was going, and eventually the line just couldn't block anymore, and he just had to take a loss.
No gain on that quarterback power, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Knights. Empty set here for Chandler. Takes the snap, drops back, looks to pass, steps up, fires downfield. It's a bit of a wobbly pass, and it is bobbled around and incomplete. Looked like his legs almost got taken out from under him on this throw.
Yeah, overall, decent pressure by the Gloucester defensive line. Great job by Chandler to step up in the pocket and deliver a ball downfield. He was looking for Bub Hall down the right sideline, and a great job of almost picking it off.
Yeah, and if I had one critique of Chandler on that play, is I would let the play develop more. It feels like he kind of forced that, but he had more time in the pocket to let that play develop and look for a more open receiver.
And I think maybe if he had set his feet before he threw it, I think maybe he could have delivered a bit of a better ball. Maybe if he waited a second or two, as you said, let that play develop a bit more. Maybe allow Hall to get open down the sideline.
3rd and 10, they faked the pitch to Hall. Chandler kept it for a minimal gain. And it'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, and a well-designed play there from Sterling. They faked out most of Gloucester's defense, but a great job of Gloucester's front line to pick that up and get the tackle.
Punt team is out for the Knights. So far, Sterling's defense keeping them in the game, only 7-0 on the kickoff and a fair catch signaled. And you can follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19. Check out what's going on around the castle and the things that we're doing in the tech program. Check out a couple PSAs and much more will be there on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19.
With 4:33 remaining in the first quarter.
And so we take a look. It's 7-0 in favor of the Gloucester Lions. 4:33 remains, and Gloucester's got a 1st and 10 around the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and since the kickoff return touchdown, Sterling has been playing well. They just need to get their offense going a little bit more. And I think Sterling can hang in this game if they can get their offense going.
Big run there by Mason Weidman.
Yeah, probably the biggest play of the night offensively for the Lions, able to get into open space, was pretty much untouched for the majority of that run until he was wrapped up out of bounds. But probably the best offensive player on the team in Weidman, coming into this game with 800 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. And that's his first big run of the night.
Gloucester on the ground again. And a nice job of running after contact was Jake Zeroff, who was different than the ball carrier on the last play, Mason Weidman. Gloucester seems to go with a bit of a balanced running attack.
Is Zeroff coming into this game just a little less than 600 yards on the year, so a pretty dominant 1-2 punch when you look in that Gloucester backfield.
And the injured Knight down on the field is number 2, Jaden Davis, who's had a couple good pressures on Gloucester quarterback Jake Siebert. As we take a look at the night sky and the Philadelphia skyline in the background. And you can find us on Facebook, Sterling Channel 19, posting a lot of content, what's going on around the castle. You see there Castle Connections with Mr. Claiborne and much, much more. You can check it all out on Facebook at Sterling TV 19. So Carter gets up and runs off to the sideline. And the Gloucester Lions offense is moving on the ground. 2 big run plays back to back. Gloucester now in Sterling territory. Ball on the 45. Siebert in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands this one off to the near side of the field. Lots of running room, makes a man miss. Still up around the 25, he's up around the 20. Working to the far side of the field, makes another man miss, and he is into the end zone for a Gloucester touchdown. Jake Zierfoss finding the end zone for 6 for the Gloucester Lions.
I mean, what a run by Jacob Zierfoss. Just incredible downfield vision, able to switch fields to the far sideline midway through the run. I mean, it started out towards the right, got some open space, made a couple Sterling defenders miss, and once he was able to switch the field, it was only one Knight to get by, and he was just off. What a run.
Yeah, just a great power run from Zierfoss. He evaded about 5 defenders on Sterling's side of the ball and was able to find the back of the end zone.
Extra point is up and good. So the Lions lead it 14-0 in this first quarter. We're going to take another look at this run for senior Jake Zierfoss.
And again, he started with a pitch out to the right side, but once he started to see a lane develop, was able to switch fields, make a couple nice moves, a couple nice cuts and switching fields to the left, and he was just off to the races, just zooming through that Sterling secondary.
Did a great job of just making men miss and advancing from the near side of the field to the far side of the field, and then he only had to beat Marquise Holloway to find the end zone. Great run from Zierfoss, who looks like he's going to kick this one away for the Gloucester Lions. Have him on the roster sheet as the kicker and the punter. So a jack of all trades is Jake Zierfoss.
I mean, one moment you're in the end zone celebrating a big rushing score, and the next moment you're kicking it off.
Yeah, and I think, sorry, Jake. I think for the next drive for Sterling on defense, they have to go back to blitzing more. They worked the first drive, and then they kind of abandoned it that last drive, and Gloucester's run game capitalized on it.
Sterling to this point has had a slow start offensively. Hopefully they can turn that around.
And look at this. I think that's Kyle Schwarber on the sideline, guys.
What a win that was for the Phillies last night.
Go Phils.
Chandler takes the snap, hands this one off. And minimal running room for the ball carrier, Josh Hernandez.
Yeah, just nothing really developing there, running straight into a wall. And a great job by the Gloucester defensive line to collapse the middle and prevent a big run to start the drive.
It looks as though Hernandez is still down, slow to get up, being attended to now. And you can check us out on YouTube if you're watching us on cable right now. We cover all of our Channel 19 events live, and they will be posted, and you can watch them again back on YouTube. Check out everything from boys basketball back in 2002 to this football game right now. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, big shout out to our producer, Mr. K, for going and finding all those old videos and posting them to the YouTube.
We also see some fun commercials, some fun PSAs, the coaches shows that you do every week. We have a ton on the Sterling TV 19 YouTube channel.
And the hard count works.
Penalty marker on the field.
And a nice job by quarterback Jathan Chandler to get the Lions defensive front to jump there. So Sterling is going to be moving up on the penalty there from Gloucester. That was pretty impressive, and that's the first time we've seen a hard count for the Knights work to success.
Yeah, and he didn't get just one member of the defensive line. He got pretty much everyone.
Hand off now to the near side of the field. It's Bub Hall. Hall wrestled down to the ground for a sizable gain that'll put him near the first down marker.
And a great job by Hall to hang on to that football. He got wrapped up. He got a good run on the play, but took a big hit. And is able to just hang on to that football, prevent a turnover.
Yeah, it's not really talked about amongst running backs how tough it is to hold on to that football. You're taking hits from everywhere. Holding on to that football really is difficult. Good job by Hall there.
And so Sterling moves the chains there with that run as we are just at the 2-minute mark for this first quarter. Chandler takes the snap, he drops back to pass, winds up, fires a strike down the middle of the field, but just too far out of the reach of his receiver downfield.
And he overthrew him. He barely overthrew him, but that was a great throw there, great read. And if that was just a little bit shorter, he was off to the races.
It's probably the best overall deep ball throw I've seen from a Sterling quarterback this year. I mean, obviously he overthrew the receiver and it was double coverage on the play by Gloucester, but most of the deep balls we've seen have been floaters up in the air, just hauling up a prayer. So a good sign by Jathan Chandler, throwing some line drive bullets down the field. Hopefully we can see a couple of those in this one.
So now Sterling going to hand this one off, and not much doing there for the ball carrier, Jermaine Stewart. It'll bring up a third down. So a loss of 1 there. It'll bring up a 3rd and 11 with 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Sterling trails at 14-0. I'm Jake Clark, joined by Brian McLernan and Connor Strauss here in the booth for a beautiful fall night of high school football. Sterling's homecoming game, we will provide that at halftime. Chandler, play action, fires, and well overthrown. Pass was intended for Marquise Holloway.
Just a poor miscommunication there from Chandler and Holloway. Holloway just looked frustrated at the very end of that play. I think Chandler thought he was going to take a streak up the sideline or so, but nope. I don't think either of them really knew what they were doing there on that play.
Sterling forced to punt again now. High snap, punt is away, almost blocked. And a nice Sterling bounce that'll spot it at the 35-yard line.
Punt is down at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions.
And you take a look at the student section, getting ready for all the fun things that are going to happen here this week. Spirit Week, homecoming, Mr. Sterling on Tuesday.
Yeah, very busy week here at the Cast. We have hallway decorating going on as well. We had some of that going on before the game today. And tomorrow we'll have that continue. That's going on from 7 in the morning to 6 p.m. It's going to be a long day.
Shout out to the super fans too. They showed up tonight. There's a great crowd on hand tonight.
Gloucester fumbles the football, and Sterling's got it. Sterling still on the feet, and a big turnover there for the Knights. Jermaine Stewart, the one to pick that ball up.
Second forced fumble of this quarter for the Sterling defense, but this time they're able to come up with it. And a big momentum shifting play there for the Sterling Knights, getting into favorable field position. Now all they got to do is just punch this one in. What a defensive play.
So a huge momentum shift, as Brian said, as Sterling has great field position inside the red zone for the first time all night. Chandler takes the snap, pressure coming, he fires, and it is almost intercepted. Threw that one too close to the Gloucester defender.
A great blitz shown by that Gloucester defense, but a pretty good job as well by Jathan Chandler, able to get that ball out, because he very well could have been sacked on that play. Maybe have fumbled the football with how fast the Gloucester linebackers were blitzing in. Very thankful there for that just to be an incompletion.
21.1 seconds remain in this first quarter of action. Sterling has it 2nd and 10 inside the red zone. After the fumble that was scooped up by Jermaine Stewart. Chandler has Hall to his left. And in motion is Lopez. They're going to give it to Hall, and Hall is met and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage there. Got hit very hard and still managed to creep back to the line. Take a look at the pass play from the previous snap. So that'll do it for the first quarter of action. Sterling trails this one 14-0 to the Gloucester Lions. We'll be right back after a couple quick messages.
Man, I really like talking to you.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
What? Hitting? Why?
Because, are you gonna hit me or not?
No.
Wrong answer.
This is so stupid.
That's more like it.
I never said you could hit me. What is that guy fighting?
What's your name? You never called. Tyler. Are you from Fight Club? Shh. You remember the first rule.
Are back with second quarter action here. Sterling trails this one 14-0 to Gloucester. Take a look at the Philadelphia skyline, and what a big night for Philadelphia it was last night, with the Phillies clinching an NLCS berth for the second straight year.
Talking about the fight, baby.
Yeah, but a great win last night. I mean, they were coming out of Atlanta with a series split, won the first game 3-0, lost the second game in a heartbreaker. And Jake, as you were talking to me, obviously off the broadcast, Philly had them right where they wanted it. Able to win the next two games at home, and we welcome in the Diamondbacks Monday night.
Should be a great series. I'm very excited to see that. Obviously, Diamondbacks, young team.
And that pass is batted down as we go back to the gridiron. Seemed like a miscommunication as three Gloucester defenders were in proximity. We're going to take another look at this play right here.
Yeah, great job. Able to get back there. That's number 12, Trevin Burkhardt, the junior linebacker, able to knock that ball down. A great read by that Gloucester defense.
Sterling is going to attempt a field goal here on fourth down. And miscommunication leads to a Sterling timeout. Looked like they were going to go for 3, but Coach Desmond Wiggins is going to bring him in and clear a couple things up. And you can follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19. A lot of content, whether it be pictures for post-game shows or clips from games. We got it on Instagram, and you can check it out at SterlingTV19. Taking a look on the track. And there he is, the Knight himself. Down on the track, trying to get everybody excited. And so now Sterling looks like they are going to go for 3. Here's the snap, it's good. Kick is up and blocked. And Gloucester has a man on it, and it's still a live ball. Flag flies towards the end of the play. Gloucester still up and running. And they have a shot to bring this back, and they fall inside the 30-yard line. Big momentum shift, but a flag is down towards the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Gloucester with a blindside block there on Sterling. If we can take another look at the replay.
We're going to wait for the call from the official. As it stands now, a huge momentum shifting play for Gloucester special teams, which hasn't been the first for the Gloucester special teams as they return to kick. And it is a penalty against the Lions. After the play, so it'll move Gloucester back, but a major field shift for the Gloucester Lions.
For a second, I really thought he went out of bounds there, but he didn't. He stayed in play. An overall good return, a couple of blocks able to develop, but
It's very impressive to stay in bounds there.
We're going to take another look at this. The kick is blocked and just scooped up by number 21, Caden Harris.
at that point I thought he got shoved out of bounds, but it was a nice return by Harris, able to get some blocks to develop. I mean, I for sure thought he would take that all the way to the house, but
And right now it looks like where the flag was thrown is where the ball is spotted for the Gloucester Lions, as they are well backed up inside their own territory, not anywhere near where that play ended. So Siebert under center. Drops back. And It'll bring up a second down.
And that was a spot where Sterling was successful last week in a tough loss on the road, getting a safety. But a good job by Gloucester, able to just establish the run already inside their own 5-yard line and able to get up and get them out of safety range.
So we'll call it a gain of 5. It is 2nd and 5 now. Sterling trails 14-0. Has Gloucester backed up in their own territory. Siebert takes the snap. He hands this one off, and a lot of running room. Still on his feet. And finally brought down was Jake Zierfoss, who scored the touchdown earlier on the ground for the Lions.
And there's going to be a flag for unnecessary roughness on Sterling there after the play. It could be offsetting. Looks like Gloucester shoved first, but Sterling.
Referees discussing it over. We'll await the call.
And it looks like penalties will offset there. So it'll still be a Gloucester first down and a big run for the senior Jake Zierfoss.
A great job by Zierfoss to stay on his feet for the majority of that run. I mean, just a huge open lane opening up on that far sideline. I mean, he did lose the football at the very end, but lucky for that one to go out of bounds quickly.
Against the Knights, moves the ball
So we're going to take another look
to the 47
at the end of this play here. Fumbles the ball, rolls out of bounds, and looks like the ball gets sent, and there's a push. Gloucester back on the ground again. This time it's Weidman, and Weidman's still on his feet, and he stumbles out of bounds with the Lions' first down. Big gain.
And after that first offensive drive where they had just a couple short offensive plays on that drive, as the night continues, Gloucester just seems to be getting big play after big play after big play, and that's just got to be really frustrating for the Sterling defense after looking pretty confident heading out there earlier tonight.
17 yards.
Looked like they had Mason Weidman stopped in his tracks, and then he just turned on the jets and found the outside for a sizable gain.
Timeout taken by the Knights.
And
And make sure you stay tuned at halftime for homecoming. We will be streaming it, and yeah, you'll find out who the homecoming queen is.
I believe the tradition is that they're given a box,
Yeah,
and
I think they all have one color flower, but one has a different color flower, and that's who win it.
I believe the winner gets a golden rose. I think that's how they did it a couple years ago. At West Stepford, we were there for their homecoming game. They had the golden mask.
okay.
Each lady selected was given a mask, and the winner had a golden mask. And we get back to the action on the gridiron. Another major run for Mason Weidman, who had 800 yards on the ground even coming into this game, as I had talked about and Brian had mentioned here in the booth.
Yeah, just a completely dominant running attack by this Gloucester offense. That's being shown beautifully tonight, just executing these big run plays very well. I mean, with their 1-2 punch in the backfield, coming into this game, they're combined for about 1,400 rushing yards.
Another handoff here. This time it's Zierfoss, and he is stopped. Major loss for Zierfoss.
Yeah, and this is, you can tell that Gloucester's a run-heavy team. Looking at their stats, they've got over 2,000 yards of total offense this season, more than 3/4 of those total yards coming on the ground. So they're a very run-first team, and it shows. They've got a lot of talent at the running.
Yeah, nice job there by Terrell Lewis, number 27 for the Knights, stopping that one in its tracks and for a loss for Sterling.
Yeah, probably the first time all night Sterling has been able to get a negative play defensively against the run. Hopefully they can continue that as this game goes on.
Siebert takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass here. Fires towards the far side of the field, and it is caught. And into the end zone, a beautifully thrown ball from Jake Siebert to Justin Frazier for the touchdown.
What a perfectly placed ball there from Gloucester. Great play there. It was well executed. Take a look at it. He put that where only his receiver was getting that ball. Great play there for Gloucester.
Marquise Holloway was there in coverage for the Knights. It wasn't too bad. I mean, not much space in between the defensive back and the receiver, but just a better catch and a perfectly thrown ball by Siebert, and the first passing touchdown of the night for him.
No, not bad coverage at all. Actually, really good coverage from Holloway. He was on him, but just a perfectly placed ball from Gloucester.
Snap is good. Kick is up and good. So Gloucester now leads 21-0. We take another look at the beautiful thrown ball from Siebert to Frazier that resulted in 6 for the Lions. Just looked like Marquise Holloway jumped a little too early, and it might have looked like Frazier had a step on him on the outside. But still, Holloway did a nice job in coverage. Just a great throw from the quarterback, Jake Siebert. We take a look at the drone angle of this throw.
I mean, just a ton of time in the pocket there, not much pressure coming from the Sterling defensive line. And yeah, you're right, Jake, jumped a little bit too early, and that's what developed the space between Holloway and the receiver, Justin Frazier. Just a great catch along the sideline, a great throw by Siebert, and an easy touchdown for Gloucester.
So Gloucester with a 21-0 lead over the Knights. 8:48 remain in this second quarter of action. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark, joined by Connor Strauss and Brian McLernan here in the booth. Kicks away for the Lions. Fielded about the 20-yard line is Bub Hall. Hall looking for some space, and a nice return as he falls around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and since the opening kickoff, Sterling special teams has looked really good.
And we get a great drone shot angle of the field as Sterling now back out on offense. And the offense hasn't had a ton of life here tonight. Obviously looking to turn it around here on this drive. They've tried to go through the air, a couple miscommunications. The one ball by Chandler was just a bit overthrown, and what would have resulted in 6 points for the Knights.
Yeah, but still a lot of football left to be played. I mean, you're still in this ball game, so hopefully this drive can start to establish something for the Knights and really wake up this offense, try and get back into this game.
Chandler takes the snap. He pitches it to Stewart. Stewart still on his feet looking around and is leveled. Big hit, but he pops right up. And he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. I mean, Stewart took a tough hit on the end of this play.
You see the pitch out to the left side, and he tried to bounce off of the offensive line, but a big hit defensively by Mason Weidman. Able to get there right to the line of scrimmage, and a lot of these short plays for the Knights are happening right around the line. And it's just a great job overall by Gloucester, able to just meet them right there and either force a no gain or a loss on the play.
And when we were talking with Coach Dez in the coaches show, he said that Gloucester is a team that likes to fly to the football, and they play very physical, and you saw it there on that hit at the end of the play. 2nd down and 9. Chandler drops back, fires over the middle, and it is broken up. Intended receiver was Marquise Holloway. On the coverage was Justin Frazier. Bring up a 3rd and long.
Pass ball is incomplete.
Yeah, and also Coach Dez, and you both saying, Jake, they fly to that football, and a great job in coverage there, breaking up that pass intended for Holloway. There's been a couple times where Chandler has looked his way and just has not been able to connect. So hopefully, as this second quarter continues to move on and as we get into the second half, hopefully their connection can start to thrive and we can get some big plays between this QB wide receiver duo.
3rd and 9 for the Knights. Empty set for Chandler. He winds up, fires, wobbly pass, and it is intercepted. Intercepted there by Justin Frazier, who had caught the touchdown pass for the Lions. Now with an interception on the day, and the ball is spotted at the 40-yard line.
What a night and what a half so far for Justin Frazier. Some good pressure by that Gloucester defensive line. It was a bit of a wobbly throw by Chandler, and a great job of just winning that one-on-one battle. And now Gloucester with a big turnover, already up 21-0.
Yeah,
Take another look at this here.
Yeah, take another look at it. Gloucester's defense has really been locking down Sterling so far, and it was shown there. Pretty underthrown ball, but Gloucester read it perfectly.
So now Siebert, play action now. Slant over the middle of the field is caught around the 50, and a nice chunk of yardage there for the Gloucester Lions on the reception.
Catch was made by
And some
McDonald.
soft coverage here by this Sterling secondary. And a great job by the receiver Joseph McDonald. Able to slant over the middle,
1st and 10.
create a nice open lane in that secondary to get past midfield and get some good field position here for Gloucester on the first play of the drive.
So a major pickup there for Gloucester. Now Weidman with the ball on the far side of the field, still on his feet, and brought down with what looks to be another Gloucester first down.
I mean, it's just chunk play after chunk play after chunk play for this Gloucester offense. I mean, not really getting a lot of that, as I said, on the opening drive of the game, but as they've been able to read Sterling's defense, they've been able to just pick it apart and just,
Number 3 Weidman.
their offense has looked spectacular so far tonight.
And I think the thing that I'm impressed with most about the Gloucester running backs in Weidman and Zierfoss is their ability to evade defenders. They've done a nice job, whether it be with the stiff arm, the juke, the spin. They've done a nice job of just keeping Sterling defenders missing.
Yeah, they've had a ton of yards after contact, and if you're Sterling, you really got to adjust and make those tackles. But it's tough when they're so good at evading tackles and getting the extra yardage.
Offensive line gave a good surge there for Weidman. It'll bring up a 2nd and short.
And this Gloucester offense, very quick with their feet.
5 yards on the handoff.
And as you said, a lot of yards after the catch, a lot of yards after the run for this Gloucester offense, both in their strong running back duo and their wide receiver core. Once they get in that open space, they've been able to create a lot of open lanes, and able to just zoom through and get down the field quickly.
Siebert in the shotgun. Play action, fires downfield, and it is broken up. Well played there by the Sterling defense. Siebert threw it into double coverage, and is lucky it wasn't intercepted.
3rd down.
As we have an injured Knight. Yes.
And they ran into one another. And looks like that is Justice Gamble. We're going to take another look at this here.
Yeah, just a tough collision at the end of the play. That's the
That was
previous
the
run.
previous run play. We're going to take a look at the pass here. It was play action. Nice job by the defensive backs, not being fooled. And I think that with Gamble walking off the field, he's more frustrated, and he read the play well and could have got the interception, than he is that he got hit by his own teammate in Bub Hall.
Yeah, the throw just a tad bit out in front of the receiver and giving the Sterling defensive backs and Gamble a chance to pick it off. And just, unfortunately unable to do so.
So it'll now bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Lions. 4:51 remains. If you're just joining us, I'm Jake Clark, joined by Brian McClernand and Connor Strauss on the call. Gloucester's offense, as Brian has said before, has been just chunk play after chunk play. Hopefully Sterling is able to get a stop here on a 3rd and manageable. Handoff is to Zierfoss. And it looks like he will be stopped short of the sticks. So to bring up a 4th down, we'll see if Gloucester keeps the offense out there.
Yeah, and if you're Sterling, you've got to I think they did a great job of it on this play. You've got to send more pressure on the D-line. That's really where Gloucester is good, is on the run game. If they beat you deep, then they beat you deep, but you can't let Gloucester keep getting all these big chunk plays on their offense. You got to kind of make them earn it by throwing the ball.
And that's the type of play defensively that you have to build upon. I mean, Sterling has rarely been able to stop the run tonight. I mean, I believe that's really only the 2nd or 3rd time where they've been able to get them at the line of scrimmage. So again, the type of play to build on if you're Sterling defensively.
4th and 5, Siebert passes and has a 1st down and more, but they'll say he was out of bounds. Jaden Garris, the senior, on the 1st down catch there, and couldn't believe that the official said he stepped out.
I forgot the high school rules are different. I thought you had to get both feet in. I thought he was out.
He was out of
yeah,
bounds.
he definitely stepped out of bounds.
But you saw him after the play jump up and down, up and down, up and down, and got a little frustrated with the official. Nevertheless, it's a Lions 1st down, and they convert on 4th down.
You get just a calm, cool, and collected throw, as Dan likes to say in some of his broadcasts. Just not much pressure by the Sterling defensive line, able to pick up the easy 1st.
Bad snap, and Siebert has to fall on it, so Sterling will back up Gloucester off of the poor snap from the center there.
And if you're Sterling defensively, that's the type of thing you have to build upon. I mean, just taking advantage of the mistakes, and hopefully with that fumble, which Gloucester has done surprisingly often tonight, that Sterling can build upon.
They've had a couple of self-inflicted wounds, but Sterling hasn't really capitalized on any of them, except for the one when Jermaine Stewart picked up the ball, but even they didn't get points out of it. Now 2nd down and a gaping hole for Weidman, and he stumbles his way into the end zone. A huge surge of power there for Mason Weidman. Yes, he finds the end zone for 6. Head down, hard-nosed running for Weidman.
Yeah, and you guys talked about capitalizing on mistakes for Sterling. As the season winds down, if they need something to build on for next half, or for next season, it's capitalizing on those mistakes. We noticed it in the West Deptford game. They started the game with 2 fumbles, and Sterling got the ball on West Deptford's side to start the game, and they weren't able to capitalize.
Zierfoss kicks that one up and good. So Gloucester leads it 28-0. We take a look at the run for Mason Weidman, the junior.
I mean, he just made it look all too easy. I mean, another touchdown for Weidman, adding to his already double-digit touchdown total on the year. I mean, he just looked unfazed on that run, even with having to lower his shoulder and get into that end zone.
So Gloucester leads it 28-0 after the touchdown and extra point from Mason Weidman, and the kick was up and good by Jake Zierfoss. We're going to take another look at this. Just lowers the shoulder, puts the head down, and trucks a Sterling defender to find pay dirt. And we take a look at the trivia question. What historical figure got married in Gloucester City in 1773? Brian, I'm going to let you start with the guesses here.
I got nothing.
My guess would be, when you take a look at the American Revolution, that was around the time of the Revolution, you take a look, most of the names that you hear are people that are around Boston, around the Massachusetts, New England area. But the one name that you hear that's associated with Philadelphia a ton is Ben Franklin. So my guess is Ben Franklin.
I've got nothing. I'll go Ben Franklin. Sure.
You can't steal my guess.
Well,
we're going to take a look at it was Betsy Ross. Should
shucks.
have known that.
Oh, I was gonna say Betsy Ross. I
Ah,
just couldn't get the.
You just couldn't get there.
Tongue.
Yeah.
Tip of my tongue.
I should have known that. Mr. Carpenter would be so disappointed that I didn't know that.
I also haven't taken history in a while since.
Neither have I, but I just know that Mr. Carpenter, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry. I love history, but I guess not enough to know that Betsy Ross was married in Gloucester City in 1773.
Shout out Mr. Carpenter. That was a really fun class last year.
He's a phenomenal teacher here at
is.
Sterling.
I'm
Been
excited.
here for a long, long time as Chandler goes down and is sacked by the Gloucester defensive line. Big loss there for the Knights.
I have Mr. Carpenter again next semester. I'm very excited for that class.
I have him for World Civilization.
Me
Fifth
too.
block. I assume that, you're in that class.
That'll be my last ever class of high school because it's fifth block.
And I'm glad that I have it with Mr. Carpenter.
Wouldn't want it with anyone else besides maybe my dad. But
So, Mr. Carp, if you're out there watching, we just want to say that we appreciate you here in the booth on Channel 19.
I love you.
Thank you for everything
we love you,
do.
Carp.
I love you, Carp.
We love you, Carp.
Had him for history last year, my junior year. He was a really inspiring figure for me.
He was.
I mean, I love seeing him in the hallways every day. Walking to my first block class, he's just always got a big smile on his bearded face. Love to see it.
Brian and I sat next to each other in that class. That was fun.
Snap was bobbled. Nice job to make something out of nothing there by Jathan Chandler, bringing up a third and very long for the Knights.
Yeah, I was sick for a lot of last year, and Mr. Carpenter really helped me out with getting all that missing work up to date. Really helped me out throughout that class. So shout out Mr. Carpenter.
Yeah, and just one more thing about Mr. Carpenter, since we have a ton of good stuff to say about him. I could go on for the rest of this entire broadcast talking about the great things that Mr. Carpenter has done around the school in just my 3.25 years of being there. I liked history. I was always interested in history. It had been my strong subject. Mr. Carpenter made me love history and even consider becoming a teacher to teach history like he did. And I just want to, again, thank Mr. Carpenter for everything that he's done for Sterling High School and to nourish the love of learning that he does so well.
Yeah, he was awesome.
We get back to the gridiron now, 3rd and long, and a penalty flag. Looks like we're going to get offsides on the defense.
Offsides against the defense.
So that'll help Sterling get a couple yards back. It'll still be a 3rd and very long. Still impressive how after the sack, the bobbled snap, Jathan Chandler picked it up and ran with it, made something out of nothing there. Clock is running under 40 seconds now. Chandler takes the snap, pressure coming, fires to the far side of the field, and is intercepted. Jaden Garris with the interception for the Gloucester Lions. Intended target looked to be Bub Hall there on the outside. We're going to take another look at this. Pressure was coming, and he got lit up.
Yeah, got some pressure at the very end of that play off the edge, and just the ball was a little underthrown. And a perfect read there defensively by Jaden Garris. Second interception of the night for Jathan Chandler. And Gloucester will get it back at about the 42-yard line.
And the offense seems to like to throw a little more with Jathan Chandler under center. Just have to make a couple smarter decisions. The offense seems to move better with him out there, but now Gloucester is on offense, and here is Zierfoss. Zierfoss still on his feet, running at the 30. He's at the 20 now, running, and is rolled out of bounds with a huge run. Let's see where they spot it. They spot it around the 10-yard line.
Just a great run by Zierfoss, letting the blocks develop. Couple nice cuts toward the middle of the field, then changing toward the sideline. A touchdown saving tackle made by Bub Hall along that left sideline as he goes out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line, and we'll get a timeout.
Yeah, Sterling calls timeout. So it's their second of the half. Take a look at it. As you said, Brian, a touchdown saving tackle from Bub Hall. And the next trivia question is, what ethnicity group is Gloucester known for, which is 9th highest percent in the U.S.?
Why do we never get the easy questions? I don't like these questions.
This is a tough one. But my guess, in just some of the games that we have gone to cover over at Gloucester, and what Mr. K has told me from being a former teacher there, is I'm going to go with the Caucasian race. He's telling us in our ear it's more specific than that. I don't know how much more specific I can get. Oh, nationalities, he's saying.
I'm thinking Canadian.
Are you just saying that because your dad is a Canadian?
Maybe.
I think that I'm going to go with Germans. I think that Gloucester is filled with Germans. Siebert takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the right side, fires towards the end zone, and it is caught, waiting for a signal, and a touchdown. So a late touchdown there. That one was hauled in by Justin Frazier. His second touchdown that was caught through the air. We're going to take another look at this. They rolled Siebert out right, and a nice sliding catch from Justin Frazier, the senior. That's his second touchdown reception of the game.
What a way to end the half for Justin Frazier. I mean, he's got 2 touchdown catches and an interception tonight. I mean, could not be having a better half as a pass catcher. Had to go back to that football to even have a decent chance at making that catch, but able to corral it nicely and add on to this Gloucester lead.
Zierfoss kick is up and good, and so time has expired here in this first half. We're going to take another look at the run here, or excuse me, the pass. The play actually even fooled me on the replay.
Yeah.
And we take a look at the trivia question. What ethnic group is Gloucester known for, which is the 9th highest percent in the United States, and we were looking more for a nationality. So I'm going to go with the Germans. Strauss said the Canadians. Brian, you got anything over there?
I think he's looking it up.
Oh, you can't use Google.
No,
you can't cheat.
I'm not looking it up. I'm not looking up the question. I'm looking up common nationalities because I don't. We'll go with Italians.
He's going to go with Italians. Irish Americans. We overlooked the Irish. All of us swung and missed there on the trivia question. But now we're going to have some coverage of homecoming. Us announcers are going to take a break, but you can watch the homecoming show.
Guys, put your IDs on. Brady, headphones. Gotta come out.
No.
Come on, man.
Yo, Brayden, you know you're not supposed to have your jacket on, man. Come on, take it off. Put it in your locker. No, I'm okay.
You have your jacket on, AirPods in, and no ID. Go to internal.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm working on this homework for over an hour now. I'm gonna have to submit this last assignment and I'll finally be done. Who's messaging me? I don't know who this is, but I guess I'll just see what she wants and then I'll go to bed. got you all excited? I have a date with this girl I met on Instagram earlier this week. This is my first time meeting her in person, though. You just met this girl yesterday, and you're already going on a date with her?
You're crazy, man. You gotta be careful.
Whatever, man. You guys just may have a date tonight.
What is
Where's your ID?
Our first young lady is Laurel Conway. She is escorted by Brian Conway. Laurel is a member of the Environmental Club, the track and field team, and competes on both school and club volleyball teams. After graduation, Laurel plans on attending college. Her best advice to underclassmen is don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and try new things. Laurel Conway. Our next young lady is Bridget Dixon. Bridget is escorted by Lisa Dixon. Bridget is a 3-season athlete playing on the soccer, basketball, and lacrosse teams. Bridget plans to head to Holy Family University after graduation to continue playing soccer. Her lasting words of advice are to enjoy it all and attend as many events as you can. Bridget Dixon. Next we have Aisha Garcia, being escorted by Niger St. John. Aisha has been a member of the varsity track team, concert band, Student Equity Council, and Interact. She is the current SGA VIU representative for the 2023-2024 school year and was a founder of the Cultural Assembly. Aisha plans to move out and pursue a degree in psychology with the hopes of becoming an educational psychologist. She would also like to continue her track career in college. Her advice to underclassmen is to never try to change yourself for anyone or anything. Always put yourself out there because you never know what can happen. Aisha Garcia. Up next is Juliana Mesta. Juliana is escorted by Mike Mesta. Juliana is a member of the girls' volleyball team. You can also find her behind the camera as she serves as a member of Tech Crew. Juliana has also helped with the toy and clothing drives. Juliana will be pursuing a career in radiology after graduation. Her parting message for underclassmen is to get involved in as many activities as you can. Juliana Mesta. Our next young lady is Mackenzie McDonald, who is escorted by Tim McDonald. Mackenzie has been involved with varsity basketball, cross country, VIU, and the Accolade, Sterling's yearbook. Mackenzie is searching for the perfect four-year university where she will pursue a degree in pre-med with the hopes of eventually becoming a surgeon. To all underclassmen, Mackenzie says, make the most of high school. Your experience will be fun if you make it fun. Mackenzie McDonald. Last but not least, we have Caitlin Ott. Caitlin is escorted by David Ott. Caitlin is a member of the varsity softball, tennis, and basketball teams, as well as the environmental club. After graduation, Caitlin would obtain a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Caitlin wishes to tell the underclassmen to get involved as much as you can because high school goes by faster than you expect it to. Caitlin Ott.
John! John! Hi.
The young lady who has received the white roses in her box is the new homecoming queen for 2023. Ladies, you may open your boxes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our 2023 homecoming court and our queen, Aisha Garcia, a big round of applause.
All right, so that was our homecoming show. Congratulations to Aisha Garcia for winning the Homecoming Queen of 2023. And we will step aside for a quick moment as second half action will resume shortly.
I wasn't even gone for that long.
Yeah, you guys want us to just skip class and mess around?
Wait, you haven't heard the rumors about the hallway predator?
Those things are just made up. Teachers just want to scare us to go back to class.
All right, bro.
I told you guys it's not real.
Yo, he's not even scared. Who even is this dude?
Don't linger in the hallways.
I could really use a bev right now.
Braden, how many times did I tell you not to bring drinks in the classroom, just water? Braden, how many times did I tell you not to bring drinks in the classroom?
So yeah, look at this door. You can't open the lock. Look at the shoes he's wearing. Go up to him and call him dumb and useless. Bet, I will. Yeah, you better. Hey man, do you need help opening your locker?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
No problem. Nice shoes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't believe my computer's dead.
Yo, does anyone have the charger?
No!
Hey man, are you okay? No man, this dude keeps bullying me. Here, try this out. What is it? This is stupid. You can report people that bully. Thank you, man.
Adam, you okay?
Hey, are you guys serious? You do know there's like 52 billion pieces of trash in the earth right now. That's nearly 7,000 per mile. And 42% of that is burned up in the air, causing pollution. Imagine if Earth was a person right now. Dude, you have Google implanted in your brain? How do you know that? Don't worry about me. Worry about Earth. Oh, dude. Dude, I can't believe it happened. Hey! Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey dude, you ready for this test?
Yeah, man, I spent all night studying on my computer.
All right, guys, the test is in your laptop.
All right, let's do this. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot to charge my computer. Yo, do you have a charger?
Nah, sorry dude.
Watch where you're going, big dog.
All right, everybody, it's time to put the phones away as we get started for class today. AJ, I told you to get off the phone.
Okay, I'll put it away. God.
Yo, you should put your phone away. You can get sent down to the principal's office and get it taken.
AJ, how many times do I have to tell you stay off your phone? Get down to vice principal's office.
I'm going to teach you some safe driving tips for you when you're out on the road. First, you want to turn on your car. Before you go, put on your seatbelt. You want to check your back mirror. Then, you want to check your side mirrors. When exiting out of a parking spot, make sure you check for cars and have your turn signal on. Make sure you come to a slow stop at every stop sign and red light. When you are making a turn, always have your turn signal on to show other drivers where you are going. Now, put your car in park and take out the key to turn off your car.
Everybody, welcome back to Sterling Channel 19. Friday Night Football here at the Castle as the Gloucester Lions lead the Sterling Knights 35-0. As we're going to take a look at some of the first half highlights, and it's just been Gloucester dominant here in this first half.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal run there. We take a look at the pass down the sideline. Siebert found Justin Frazier. And then here is a run by Jake Zierfoss. Take a look here at the kickoff return for Justin Frazier. What a half he had. Kickoff return and 2 touchdowns through the air. We look at the next touchdown through the air to end the half for the Gloucester Lions. And Mr. Schulz joins us now. Mr. Schulz, they've been dominant to this point.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you could see why Gloucester's a team that's had a lot of success, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You see them really use the whole field. They stretch it with the pass down the field, can get around the edge to the outside, and they've got a good line where they can run the ball up the middle. Just a complete team. With that being said, obviously Sterling's having a tough year, but there were some nice things in that first half. We had to stop where we stopped Gloucester on 4 downs, and it seemed like there was a point where we were getting there to make plays, just weren't making tackles. So they're all things you can look at on film and improve upon, but obviously there's nothing you can do about a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing against a lot of juniors and seniors, and I think that's what we're seeing right here, and you hope that these kids stick with it and hit the weight room in the offseason, and they're going to be bigger and better next year when you're talking about this Sterling team.
And I think that when we talk about, as you were talking about, they're getting there, I think that we're starting to see that. The defense has played well on certain drives where we stop them on, and they take a loss of down, Gloucester does, or picking up the fumble, forcing a fumble, not getting it. They're making some plays. Right now, Gloucester's offensive line has just been too much and getting too much of a surge, and the running back duo of Weedman and Zierfoss has just been unstoppable. And then when you look on the offensive side of the ball seems to be moving well, not only through the ground game, but through the pass game on certain plays. The Achilles heel just all year has been untimely penalties and turnovers. That's really all it has come down to.
But Gloucester has done a great job at bouncing back after some of their mistakes. I mean, obviously, a couple forced fumbles made by this Sterling defense, a couple in that first quarter alone. But Gloucester has done a great job at looking at that and saying, hey, what can we improve upon to prevent some of those mistakes from happening again? And they've answered back with some big chunk plays, both through the air and on the ground, mainly on the ground. I mean, their rushing attack has just taken full force into this first half, and they're looking for that to continue in the second half as we're about ready to get things going here in the second half. Glad you're with us here on Channel 19 for Sterling's homecoming game tonight. Aisha Garcia was recently announced as the homecoming queen for 2023, so once again, congratulations to her. Hopefully you're able to see that being announced live. But we are underway as Gloucester kicks it off to start this second half. Return from about the 20-yard line is Hall, and Hall is wrapped up and taken down at about the 30-yard line. So return of about 10 yards, and Sterling will start with the football at about their own 30. So Sterling getting ready to start their first offensive drive of this second half at about their own 30-yard line.
And what a quick entrance and exit from Mr. Schulz. He was on, and now we're going to be joined by Dan Leakin for the third quarter. Dan's got off of band duty for the third quarter, so we're glad that he's up here using his time wisely, in my opinion, in the booth here with us, and we're glad to have him.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's been a great game. I mean, Gloucester has played super well on offense and defense, and I think Sterling just has to get back into the swing of things this half, maybe try to put some points on the board, because there's a big, strong run.
Big run here for the Knights, up past the 45, taken down at about the 47-yard line. The biggest run of the night for the Knights offensively. And it's for Cameron Johnson, the running back.
And that's the exact way that you want to start opening up the half if you're the Sterling Knights. The scoreboard's obviously not in your favor, but a nice job of Cameron Johnson giving a little fire to this offense.
And yeah, the freshman, I mean, given a big spark, I mean, got through the offensive line hole that they created and made some room with it. And that was a really impressive run and way to navigate his way throughout the defense and get a couple yards.
One of the biggest plays of the night for the Knights offensively. Chandler here on first down at about the 48. Takes the snap, fumbles the football, loses it again. Who's got it? And it looks like waiting for the signal, and it's Gloucester football.
And you had a great thing going there with the run by Cameron Johnson, and then just the fumble here. Again, looks like an unforced error, and Gloucester's able to fall on top of it, and any momentum that Sterling had on that one run play is just completely washed away with the turnover.
Yeah, and just after getting some decent field position close to midfield, Sterling obliterates that with the self-inflicted wound there, and now Gloucester will start at the Sterling 47-yard line. First down and 10. And off to the outside, cutting towards the 40-yard line, still going past the 30, and wrapped up just inside the 30 as the ball pops out at the end of the play. Big run to start the drive for Gloucester.
And, I mean, speaking on that fumble real quick again, I mean, we've seen a lot of the time, so we're going to see the replay here with that great run, but we've seen a lot of the time that a lot of Sterling's problems are those self-inflicted wounds, and they just keep, you know, batting themselves down once they get some type of momentum going. And I think if they could start limiting those self-inflicted wounds, they can become, you know, a little bit more competitive on the offensive side of the ball.
Great run there by Jaden Tillman there. Wall takes the snap, another handoff to Willman, cuts inside past the 25, taken down at about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and we were talking before you got on, Dan, with Mr. Schulz, that Sterling seems to be getting there. The offense seems to flow better, but the Achilles heel has been turnovers, and the defense seems to have some positive moments, but overall just hasn't been able to put all those positive moments together for a drive, a quarter, a game.
And a little less on the turnover, but the Sterling Knights, I mean, they got a really good turnover, and they had it pretty much in their red zone. And I whispered to someone that I was playing with on the sideline, and I said, this was literally an Eagles drive. You know, they got a great play, hopped into the red zone, and then made nothing of it. And I just think that they haven't gotten anything going on offense.
Wall takes the snap, and that's going to be a false start. It'll be a penalty. Offsides on the defense.
I think that's a good job by the Gloucester offensive line, because to get that offside penalty, they had to react. They did a nice job of reacting. Initially, Dan and I thought that it was going to be a false start on Gloucester, but Sterling jumped first, and Gloucester had to react to draw that penalty.
Yeah, even I had to correct myself. I think they pretty much fooled all of us here in the broadcast booth.
They got me. I thought that was a false start big time. I thought I saw someone on the right move a little bit.
Be a second down and short here for Gloucester at about the 20. Handoff up the middle, and almost nowhere to go. Close to the first down. We'll see where they'll spot the football. And it looks to be short of the first down yardage, so that will bring up a third down and 1.
Sterling's going to need a big third down stop here, and we haven't seen Gloucester be reluctant to go for it. This is obviously a fourth down situation if they're stopped here on third.
Third down and 1 at the 19. A QB sneak up the middle, and that'll be an easy first down for the Gloucester Lions.
You know, not quite the brotherly shove there, but it did the job for the Gloucester Lions there.
I mean, not many teams can really pull off the brotherly shove as well as the Eagles can. I mean, you see a lot of other NFL teams try and do it, and they're just nowhere near as successful as the Eagles.
I mean, we can get into how and why all day, but I think honestly that was a really good play by Gloucester. I mean, their offensive line did a great job of creating a hole, and I mean, pretty much gave QB a perfect streak through the middle.
Yeah, nice job by Ashton Wall, the quarterback now for the second half, to just find his way for the first down with the tush push.
A high snap, and the ball comes out. Gloucester able to fall on top of it, but a big loss on the play, as that'll move them back about 8 yards.
And this is an unforced error here for the Gloucester Lions, and this is something that Sterling has to capitalize on, is Gloucester, with a self-inflicted wound there, backing themselves up. Now Sterling has to figure out a way to make something positive for the Knights defense happen here.
2nd down and 19 after the fumble. Wall takes the snap. A give up the middle. There he goes. And a terrific run by Jaden Tillman as he's able to get a big gain on that 2nd and long.
Tackle made by Ali Ward.
Honestly looked like DeAndre Swift-esque. I mean, he came in with really good burst speed. I mean, the offensive line created a big hole for him, and he capitalized. Instead of running in straight to a defender, he cut and made a really nice speed burst and got to almost the first down. He might have gotten it, actually.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
So a 3rd down and short here for the Gloucester Lions at about the 10-yard line. Another give, bursting speed, and taking it in for the touchdown is Harry Ulmer. Bursting through that Sterling defensive line and adding on to this Gloucester lead. It's 41-0.
Touchdown Lions.
And they go in the I formation there, Brian, if we can take another look at this after the kick. They went in the I formation, handed it off to the fullback on the play, and he was able to find a hole and a surge. And when you give one of the bigger guys on the team, one of the big boys, the fullback, the football, hard-nosed run and found the end zone and made contact with a couple Sterling defenders.
Extra point is up and right down the middle, so a 42-0 lead for the Gloucester Lions with 4:09 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And that was a really good run from Harry Ulmer and made a really impressive break tackle on the defense, as we're going to get a big aerial view of our beautiful turf field. But he made a really nice break tackle on the safety. I mean, he kind of came in closing pretty hard, and it was a really good play from Ulmer.
Take a look at the trivia question on the bottom right corner of your screen. What opened in Gloucester City on May 16th, 1957?
Might have to ask my dad about that one.
And it looks like Jake's thinking about it. What do you got, Jake?
I'm thinking about it, but my initial first thought was Blockbuster, but that has to be wrong, because Blockbuster was way too far in the future before May 6th, 1957. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of something Jersey.
I'm thinking a Rite Aid. I don't know why.
I'm thinking like a restaurant.
You know what I'm feeling?
You know what, like something to eat. Might have been like, I don't know where Five Guys is from, but that seems like a Jersey thing. I'm probably super wrong and just taking a guess. I might change it to Five Guys.
I'm going to hit it. I'm going to go with a really bad guess, but it's going to be funny. I'm going to hit it with Tad Kazanowski's home, his childhood home in Gloucester. Oh, I was wrong. But you know what? It was a good guess.
I mean, Mr. K, he just shut that down pretty easily.
No.
Returning from about the 15-yard line.
He said we would know it.
We would know.
You got a guess?
I said Rite Aid.
It feels like a food place to me. That's just where my gut is going. Maybe
McDonald's.
that's because I'm hungry. I think I got to stick with the Five Guys. Five Guys just feels Jersey. I don't know what it is about it. It feels Jersey, feels this area. Might have started in Gloucester City. So I think Brian's Rite Aid. I'm Five Guys.
I'm going to be McDonald's.
He said McDonald's, but the first guess was pretty funny. He said Mr. K's childhood home. That was wrong. The Walt Whitman Bridge, not even close.
Yeah.
If I had my clipboard right now from earlier in the game, I would have thrown it like a mad coach on the sideline.
Well, Kay was right. We do know it. When we're going to our Phillies games, Flyers games, Eagles games, whatever, we drive past it every time. But I just wasn't really thinking there, huh?
I don't think really any of us were thinking right there.
I think Mr. K's house was still a good guess.
I don't know that we got one trivia question right, I think, all year, and it was Hassan Reddick during the Haddon Heights game. And I think that was it.
I think you're right. I don't think any of us have really done, and we haven't really had many close guesses either. I think most of our guesses have been
we've
really
been all over the place, not even close.
And this
these should be multiple choice questions.
Yeah, I
really
agree.
should.
And this is my first trivia question of the year, maybe to get some young brain in here. I mean, trying to figure this out. I couldn't think of anything.
I mean, obviously,
1957 is a little longer than I was born, man.
I mean, most of these questions.
Is that how they are?
Yeah, they're mostly like some stuff that maybe like Schulz or someone would know.
The one before, I don't know if you probably weren't watching, but the one before was what happened in Gloucester City. Who got married in 1773?
Wow, man, I actually I might know that. My dad.
We were.
Aw. That played Blown Dead.
Mr. Leakin is not that old.
Yeah.
The correct answer was Betsy Ross.
Oh man.
I guess Ben Franklin and I got super upset that I didn't know it was Betsy Ross.
I had that one in the bag, dude.
And
I knew that one.
Brian was close. It was right on the tip of his tongue. You could tell that he was ready to say Betsy Ross. Just didn't get there. Just didn't process from the mind to the mouth.
So it'll bring up a second down and 11 for the Knights. Just about 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Gloucester with a 42-0 lead over the Knights.
The other question we missed on. We were close, though. That one we were in the ballpark. We did get a little help from Mr. K, but the Irish Americans won.
And a good throw by Chandler, but just plain dropped by Jaden Ollie Ward, who we haven't really called his name a lot tonight, as I believe that's his first target of this game.
And he was one of those dynamic guys, Ollie Ward, that they would get in a lot of reverse action. And I think the thing that I liked most about him was his ability to reverse fields. All the blocks go towards the right on the jet sweep, gets clogged, so he reverses it back to the left where there's nobody, and he beats whoever we were playing, whatever game it happened to be. He played phenomenal in those first 2 to 3 home games of the season.
Third down and 11. Rolling to his right is Chandler. Makes a man miss. What a move. Still on his feet. Makes a couple Lions move. There he's go past midfield. Trying to reverse field. Stays on his feet and wrapped up past midfield at about the 47-yard line. What a play by Jathan Chandler. Just making a couple Lions miss. Able to reverse field and pick up a big first down play on a 3rd and long.
And this one had some evasive abilities, but also some power running towards the end. A great scramble from Jathan Chandler on a major 3rd and long. Made a couple Lions miss down the field, and then was almost getting dragged down towards the end of it, but got a couple extra yards after contact.
Yeah, and he did an amazing job. I mean, just making the people miss, as you said. I mean, he was really elusive. He was quick on his feet. He made the right decision when he needed to, and I think that was a really good play.
Chandler feels the pressure, throws it deep downfield, pass is caught. And Bob Hall down the field inside the 30, marked down at about the 28-yard line. And that is how this third quarter will come to an end. A 42-0 Gloucester Lions lead, as fourth quarter action will come up right after this.
Would you check your email?
What's email?
The thing that keeps making that sound! Now I know why you didn't come here for the Fires game! Open it now! 1,700 emails!
Maybe you should open your emails too.
You think so?
Everybody, welcome back to Sterling Channel 19. A beautiful night for some Friday night football. It's the Gloucester Lions 42 and the Sterling Knights nothing as we enter this fourth quarter. And just a dominant offense on display for the Gloucester Lions tonight. The defense making a couple big plays. Sterling just not able to capitalize on any Gloucester mistakes. They've have a couple of forced fumbles tonight. Not been able to do pretty much anything with them, but now Sterling driving inside the Gloucester Lions 30-yard line after the big throw to Bub Hall.
That was a phenomenal throw under pressure, and he found the soft spot in the zone to Bub Hall.
Chandler tried to make a man miss, but could not escape as Gloucester is able to get there for the sack.
And Gloucester brings all the dogs towards Jathan Chandler, and they were able to tackle him for a loss. Chandler tried to make a couple men miss, but nothing doing.
So a loss of 5 on the play will bring up a 2nd down and 15. So a 2nd down and 15 after the sack by Gloucester. Chandler with a motion man, takes the snap, quick throw underneath, pass is incomplete. He was looking for Cameron Johnson out of the backfield, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this one had too much heat on it or it was just led too far out in front, but it didn't look like a great throw from Jathan Chandler to Cameron Johnson out on the screen. And it looked like Sterling had it set up pretty nicely with a couple blockers out there, but just unable to convert on the quick catch and pass.
Yeah, and it looks like a simple play, but a lot of times, when you look at that screen, it has to do when you're going to turn upfield, and it's a play where the receiver, or the back, and the quarterback have to have familiarity, and obviously with Chandler just coming here in the last few games, I don't think they had that.
Chandler looking deep down the field, pass is intercepted. Picked off for the 3rd time tonight by this Gloucester defense. And it's number 14, Rylan Coffigny with the interception.
Intercepted.
Great interception there by Coffigny of Gloucester. And it looked like for a split second Sterling had that until you saw the double coverage come over. Nice job by Gloucester. And they've done this all night long where they've brought pressure, made Jathan Chandler make a quick throw, and it ends up being a throw that he wished he had back. 3 times now, Gloucester's defense gets an interception.
And I think the key thing you said there, Jacob, was the pressure Gloucester put on. Chandler really wasn't able to get a lot on that throw, and as you said, it allowed the double team to get over there, close in and get the interception. Really had a little bit too much air on it, had to get there a little bit quicker, but it was a tough throw for Chandler with all the pressure.
So Gloucester back out on offense. It's Ashton Wall, the quarterback, in for this 2nd half. And a timeout on the field for the Lions.
Gloucester, of course, a team that really has a solid tradition as we look at our trivia question here.
Yeah, what form of entertainment was born in Gloucester in the early 1950s?
Wow.
The last 3 trivia questions I've started, so I'm going to let someone else start.
Schulz, we'll let you start. How about that? Oh, Schulz is going to go last.
Mr. Case on a Schulz has to go last.
I would have gotten the Irish-American one, but I wasn't on the air for that. A couple of the other ones I wouldn't have gotten. And I don't know that I'm going to get this one.
I guess I'll just start. I mean, what form of entertainment was born in Gloucester in the early 1950s?
Big run out to
There was a huge run.
45-yard line.
I don't even know where to start with that trivia question. I'm
drawing blanks here.
I mean, I'm trying to think. The early 1950s. You got to think they're right out of World War II, right? With Eisenhower as the president. I'm just trying to think. Brian has a guess. Thank you, Brian.
Go with stand-up comedy. I think stand-up comedy is going to be my guess.
Stand-up comedy is a phenomenal guess, and it's a form of entertainment. Mr. K is a sports guy. He's telling us it's not necessarily sports, so that changes my answer. Brian said stand-up comedy. I don't even know. I might go with social hour.
Okay, good guess.
Social
I like
hour.
that.
You know, you just go out and have a social hour with a couple of your friends. I think that social hour might have been early 1950s.
My only, and I know this is wrong, but the only thing I would think of, but again, I know this is wrong because American Bandstand started in Philly, but maybe somehow it had some Gloucester ties. That's my only guess. Okay, he said, Mr. K said we're getting closer.
We're getting a little warmer with the
bandstand. All right, let's just sit on that for a little bit and try and think what we can get from that.
That's why I kind of wish some of these questions were multiple choice, because it's tough to kind of start with a question like this, as you were saying, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, and then sometimes, if we were lucky that you gave a good answer that kind of led to where Schulz got to, because when we went with Rite Aid for the last question, we weren't even close. We are. Do we collectively agree that we're stumped?
Yeah, I would agree.
Can't
on
say
that.
rock and roll, right? It is.
Wow.
Wow. Bill Haley in the comments.
Right before the bell, Mr. Schulz got it.
I did before that popped up, but I was thinking rock and roll was more towards Elvis and down in the South. Okay, wow. Rock Around the Clock, okay. Bill Haley in the comments. I definitely knew that was a local band.
So another give up past the 40. Marked down around the 39-yard line. Pretty much all runs for the Gloucester Lions on this drive as they just continue to melt the clock away. Just a little less than 5.5 to go in this ball game.
And this is a Gloucester team that's really built a culture, has had a long-standing tradition of excellence in football. And a lot of times you see familiar names, you see generations of kids, 3-4 generation players playing on this team. So it's no surprise that they're having a lot of success this year and look to have success as they get towards the playoffs.
Another I formation set. Nothing much there on that run.
And when you talk about the playoffs, they're the type of team that I think is built to do well. They're not just a one-dimensional attack. You've got a lot of different weapons, and I think, the teams that are just a one-dimensional attack, you can just throw, you can put pressure on the quarterback, you can stop one thing. But when you've got multiple weapons and hit multiple areas of the field, it really makes it difficult for a defense to stop a team like that.
Yeah, and the way they've kind of picked Sterling apart, as you were saying, Mr. Schulz, has been not only on the ground. They have two great running backs in Mason Weidman and Jake Zierfoss that have been phenomenal tonight on the ground throughout that first half. They picked them apart through the air, too, and on special teams. They had a score on special teams, a score on the ground, and a score through the air. So their scoring has been well diverse, to say the least. The receiver on the two passing touchdowns was Justin Frazier, who also ran back the kick that started the game. So he's had himself a great day here at the Castle.
Yeah, just an overall dominant performance by this Gloucester Lions team as they look to move to 6-1 on the season. 35-plus points for the 6th straight week.
And Jacob, I'll speak to what you said about the special teams. And to me, that speaks to the culture, because in the case of special teams, you've got a lot of younger players out there. Maybe Frazier is not a younger player, skilled player, varsity player. But a lot of guys who are blocking for him are younger guys. And that's their chance to get out in the field and make something happen. And many times we've seen in close games, special teams can be the difference.
Okay. And I think that the cliche thing that everybody hears when it's about special teams is, 8 out of 10 times when the team that scores on special teams wins the game. It's been more than that for Gloucester. They've had just a phenomenal day offensively, on the ground, through the air. It doesn't matter what they decided to do. They were going to be successful no matter what, and the scoreboard really reflects that.
Yeah, and even without the special team score to open up this ball game, I mean, that score happened with about 14 seconds into it, and Gloucester was already in the end zone for 6. I mean, that play has pretty much become something that's probably left the memories of most fans here tonight and players on the sideline for Sterling. I mean, just no matter what they could have done tonight, Gloucester has just been successful on all levels of the football, offensively, defensively, special teams. Just a complete dominant night that I'm sure they'll head in the locker room proud of themselves for.
And when you talk about built for success in the playoffs, when we were talking with Coach Dez on the coaches show, the main thing that he stressed about this Gloucester team was they're physical and they fly to the football, and they really showed that tonight, and I think that was a big factor in their defensive success. We saw guys fly to the football on interceptions. They have 3 of them tonight. Did they force any fumbles? I'm trying to think back. I'm not sure if they forced any fumbles tonight. I don't think they have. I think Sterling's been pretty secure with the ball on the ground, but through the air they forced 3 interceptions, and they fly to the football, and they're very physical when they stop the run. We saw a lot of hard hits from the Gloucester front 7, and that's something to keep an eye on as they try and make a push for the postseason.
Yeah, and a lot of the short and intermediate plays ran by the Sterling offense happening around the line of scrimmage. The linebackers and the defensive linemen for Gloucester have done a really good job at meeting these Sterling offensive playmakers right at the line to prevent them from getting any yards after the carry or yards after the catch, and pretty much just stopping Sterling for either no gain or a loss on the play. Just a great job at flying to the football, as you said, and just not allowing any huge plays for the Knights, obviously, besides maybe that big throw to Bub Hall earlier in the second half. But other than that, they've prevented from big plays down the field, and they've done just a great job tonight on all cylinders.
And I think the most impressive thing about this win is just how well they played as a unit. They have a lot of guys playing on both sides of the ball that showed out on both sides of the ball. We saw Justin Frazier had 3 touchdowns, 1 on special teams, 2 receiving, and had an interception. He had a phenomenal game here today, and that looks like that knee will wrap it up.
Yeah, so Gloucester will knee this one out, and they will come out of this game with a shutout win, a 42-0 Gloucester Lions victory here at the Castle, as they'll move to 6-1 on the year. Sterling will move to 1-7. But that'll wrap things up here on Channel 19. I'm Brian McLernan. Thanks to Jake Clark, Connor Strauss, Kevin Schulz, and Dan Leakin for joining me on the broadcast today. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back this Monday for some more Channel 19 action